Shout out to a friend of mine who also has not got over 1,000 this year. 1 point away, 999. Very tough score again. Picked the wrong captain, and that's obviously the difference between a few points, right? Like if I went for Turbo over Hines in my pick, then it's another 30 odd points. It's not crazy. Obviously the Cleary one would have been a good play as well. Considering I didn't think I had a loop coming into this week. I ended up with a looper in Zach Labart, who was a late out, and I didn't want to play Ben Trebojevic. End up having to play him for his shocking score as well. So yeah, a tough round all over. I was having a look at my history. So last year, I don't think I scored under 1,000 for like 8 rounds maybe, and was in a pretty solid position, and it's a tough one to start, but we do have to celebrate the green arrows in this one, up 11,787 spots into the top 60,000. We're absolutely flying this year. Round 3 scores ranked in the top 32%, so we're not going too bad. Hey, we're in the top 41% of the league. Hilarious time. So let's look at the team value as well. 11,948,000 there for the squad, with a little bit in the bank in 23. So we're not looking great, not a cracking start, especially when we had the big price drop of Nicho Hines there. So unfortunately for him, down $110,000. Cleary down a good chunk as well. Even with his 121, obviously that will start to slow down a little bit there. With Nicho, unfortunately, fortunately for him, his low score is out of his rolling average coming into this week, and now we've got a 75 and a 53. So it's not the worst in the world. It's not great either. So he still has a really, really high break even of 121, which hopefully he can hit this week and play much better, because it doesn't look like there's a lot of options for us to trade him to stop some of these price losses, that's for sure. So that's currently where we are at with this squad. It's the Nicho Hines show of no show. Let's just say that. The 2RF position, really, really tough. Unfortunately, I didn't play Kaipi's Paul. Again, the theory with that one would have been to play him over Smithies, and unfortunately that was a 29-point difference as well. So a few little bits and pieces that I could have decided on and made some changes with that would have worked out for the better. The trade in Elastic didn't work so well for my squad. He scored, I think, 10 less than that of Brandon Smith, but allowed me to make the good trade in of the week was Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. So we did trade out Salmon for him. We kept Hutchison in this scenario to give us a little bit of a price bump, which is good. And Roger's 79 points. Unfortunately, as I said, Ben Trebojevic would have been in Zach Labart's spot. I was playing Zach over him. And that didn't work out well. Obviously, if I was to know that Labart was going to be out beforehand, then I definitely would have been playing Hutcho against the Titans over that of Ben Trebojevic against that tough right-hand defensive outfit in the Eels. So yeah, that didn't work out either. So there's a few things that weren't in our favor. I'm happy overall that I did hold on to Ponga. Yes, he went down 66k, but a nice score of 86 there against the Storm. And he does come up against the Wars. Yeah, the Wars this week coming up, but it does seem to be against them. There are a few points on offer, and the Knights played better in this one. So hopefully they can continue that form. Trebojevic obviously went down some cash as well. All of my top guns did in Hines, Cleary, Brown, Trebojevic, and Ponga. And that's where all of my my big price drops are coming from, and then I'm making some money in all other positions. Every one of my centre wings, except for Labart, who will make money, but didn't play, so all of those guys made money. My Metcalf mid-ranger is doing really well. Picked up a 62 there. I'm making money from Smithies. P. Kuru went down a little bit. Got my price rise from Curran, bring him in. Kaipi's Ball grabbed him last week for his low score, and didn't play him, but got 45k in rises from him. Terrell May up a solid amount there. 44.9 thousand. He'll go up again next week. Liam Henry, Sam Hughes, Levi, and obviously Lysick all made money on that front as well. So overall, good for money making for our cheaper guys, and we do need our expensive dudes to get their shit sorted basically, and start scoring some hundreds. That would be ideal. So our first 100 of the year with Nathan Cleary. Thank you, sir. We had Trebojevic and Ponga both get 86s, which was solid. And yeah, there's plenty to sort out. I was having a little bit of a play with my side, and just can kind of give you a general idea. I would have liked to be able to get rid of Tuapiki, but for this to play out, Hines has to stay, because when we look at their options in there, it's basically no one making money. It's everyone not going great. Chad Townsend making money, which we're not going to purchase. And then Luke Brooks, which is probably the guy that you could go in the half position if you needed it. I am in a situation where I want Lockie Galvin. I need to get some money making in this side. Dylan Brown is not at the moment. Metcalf at 530, but if I can get bulk cash, Dylan Brown to Lockie Galvin gives us sort of 550k in the bank there. I'm tempted just to go Levi straight to Api Coruscant, who is looking good, kicking goals. Team looks a little bit better, so that's good signs for him. That could be the play there. And then the next play would be to try and get the hammer. So the only way, I'm a bit short, I think 50k or something like that, going to a picky to hammer. But I can go Hutcho to hammer there. Yes, a little bit of a price rise is good, to a picky being out, but he can sit on my bench for a tick. I'm happy to get rid of Hutcho. They come up against, yes, the South. I don't expect Hutcho to get try assists on a weekly basis, just with how he's looking at the moment. So that was a nice score to get some rise from him, up 23.4k. I'm not expecting him to get too much further than sort of the early 400s. So unfortunate, but he's going to have to be the one to make way, I believe, to get to hammer. And I do think that those are 3 trades that hopefully can propel me up some ranks, get me some decent scores. Given that the Dolphins come up against the Titans this week, that's an important matchup, I think, for me to have him in there and potentially, pick up a really, really good score. Hines, we're going to have to hold in this scenario, and really hope that he gets way above that 50 average. If he can get 100 or 95 or something this week, then that would really help us out. Cleary doing Cleary things, which is good, getting back to some of his best. He's going to have a tough matchup here against the Roosters, who are playing well at home. Thankfully, I've got Kai Paul already, who people are going to try and get in their sides. Got the Liam Henry cheapy effort. Guys like Max Plath are a clear option in the 5/8 position as well. Looks like he's going to get some decent minutes from that. Hopefully, we can get Laybut playing next week, pop him back in the side. Against the Broncos, going to be not an easy task, but they're going to have a few out. And then, Tuapiki comes out and we play hammer. And this team looking much better. And again, that's 3 trades using another boost. I saved 1 in the first week, which is good. But I do think that sorting out this team quickly as possible is going to be the play. And hope that these 2 RFs can start to play a lot better. So for both for more, looking okay, is scoring a 53. We'll take that for sure in a game where they got absolutely smashed. So hopefully if they can turn things around a little bit, and then he can get some type of attack there. He's still hitting the line hard. And that's that. Pikura, not great. Smithy's not great. Curran, fine. Pierce Paul, fine. So there's a few things to sort out in my side. But it's not all doom and gloom. I think on a weekly basis, I'll be making some, I'll be getting green arrows with our rankings. And hopefully that we can get into sort of that top 20 to 10k over the next few weeks. And then we can start to slow down on the trades. And thank goodness I did hold one of them in the first week. That's going to help out a little bit later on. We spoke about our conservative strategy around round 13, 16, 19, and focusing on just getting the best team possible, making money and going from there. That's still the way we're going to play this. Might trade a little bit less over that time just to ensure that I have the best side possible in round 14, 17, 20, and then for the rest of the year. So trade early, get things right. I think that's going to help us out, and then we can go from there in this squad. And I just wanted to go through a couple of the finishing touches for the week, which I didn't end up going through the scoring for the games after Friday. So we'll go to the Dogs one. Carraz is a very interesting one. Obviously now having 2 lowish starts to come out and get a better score. What about the Titans there? My Both for More play was the highest point scorer in that Titans side. So overall, they're very much a team that you would look to avoid. And then Tino's going to be a sell. And then you had some decent scores across the board for the Dogs guys, which we won't see on a regular basis, but nice one from Reedy, nice one from Tracy there as well. Max King a better score at 56, and Curran, unfortunately the minutes weren't exactly there for him, but longer term he'll be fine. And then Hughes, unfortunately not getting the points that all the minutes that we were hoping for with Sammy. So interesting at that. For the Dragons v Cows game, so many points in this, a lot of good scores. Obviously Val Holmes, Drinkwater, clear top targets over the next few weeks, with Drinkwater finally kind of getting a big one, which was good. We'll get into my head-to-head team in a sec where he is placed. With Lomax continuing to score well. If they score points, he's going to do something. Get a try, get some goals, obviously, in there and do some good things there for your squads. Flanagan, if you're still holding him, good stuff. hunt. If you went him over Hines, then you're in the winner's circle. That's for sure. Round 1 and 3. Can they do this on a weekly basis? That's the thing, and it shows that they have some quality to be able to score some points, but defensively have been horrendous. Robson was clearly the play in hooker position as well, outside of Abdi Coruscant. So one of those two was the winners. And another guy that you could slot in and do well. He got 3 try assists in this one, which was massive. And from there, Dearden's been solid as well if you went him in the 5'8" position over the great Dylan Brown, who's getting try assists but not scoring well enough, sadly. And then, Finay Fuyaki got 57, so he'll kickstart his price rises. Will he score a try every week? No. So be aware of that if you are looking to pick him up. And then Cotter as well, 47. Hopefully he's okay for this week. This was the game, guys. Obviously, Galvin being a clear target did really well. Coruscant with 105 in that one as well. Again, a clear target. Congrats to anyone that held on to Seyfarth. You probably didn't play him. But end up with that score. And then Buller, 81. So if Tigers continue to play well, he'll be in amongst that. Hazleton will expect to score pretty well again next week, given they picked up a couple of HIA and an injury to Finucane and Rudolph. Hines there, 53. Hopefully that gets better next week. It can't get worse, can it? He has got a 26 in his average, but not great. Hopefully it does get better. For those who grab Mulatalo and Talakai, it's 56 and 57. I was looking at Talakai, so I'm glad in the end I did pick Roger. Obviously, just for the score this week. So that was a win for the week for my squad. Mulatalo, with 56. And that was that for that game. Nothing too crazy to look at with those guys, apart from the two that will be sells in a Rudolph or a Finucane, who no one really has. This is a pretty tough game here. The second last one of the round with Ben Chaboyevich, the low score. Lussick, Brown, 55, not good enough. Sadly, he's losing money. And then Tommy Turbo. With him, that line break try assist that was pulled back as well was pretty tough. Outside of this, it wasn't a great fantasy scoring game with only 3 scores over 80. A couple of 60s in there for Talangi and for Palo there. And then Brooks, 53. He's the only real saving grace, I suppose, in the half, or the half position especially. And Olakuatu with the 48, who I brought in the head-to-head squad. Not great. Last one, guys, Knights and the Storm. You had Gags, 94 again. He just continues to dominate. Ponga, 86, as we spoke about, and Pierce Paul, much better for them. Elliott, not his best game. Hopefully he's okay. Pulled up a bit lame with a calf complaint. And then Lucas playing most of his time, spending all his time on the right edge with Frizzell getting some time to rest. So, interesting to see how that plays out with Kai Pierce Paul from next week onwards. Pat with a 78, so he'll make some decent cash now, and then he looks as a potential buy in round 5 or 6. If you're looking at that, I do believe they play the Broncos in round 5. So, Pap to still score well when they lost was nice. And then you had Harry Grant with 63. So, again, not an incredible start from Grant. If you did hold all this time, I do think you continue to. And hopefully you've got someone as a nice backup in a Lussick or something like that hopefully can play a bit better in a game where he gets some more base and goes from there. So, that's that one there. Let's move on to the leagues and just have a little chat about Podmasters overall. So we had my private group where I'm just outside the top half. The Podmasters there, I'm down to 70th out of 97. So there are a few behind me. Still there for sure. And not great overall. Congrats to the guys in my JB NRL community. We've got Josh. Forgot about it. Is killing it. As always, well done to him. Another good score, and he's into 500th overall. So good stuff, mate, there. My other boy, Josh, Dark Knights, 1,013, so not his best, but still beat me. And then let's go to the Podmasters there just to check that one out to see where everyone's at, for those that care. But into the top 1,000 for Brandon. For Savage there, I still can't believe he did the Teddy to Turbo. Strange, in my opinion, but he's absolutely killing it. So we can't say too much else than that. He obviously would have been killing it even more if he'd held on to that trade. But sometimes you shows here, you got to risk it to get the biscuit. And if you go a little bit conservative, sometimes you do fall behind, like myself, and that's where it's ended up. So only 2 guys in the top 3,000, 6 guys there in the top 10,000, with Guru going for the high and sell into the Val Holmes play, and it shows that these kind of moves can really pay off. Sometimes they don't, and this time it did. So congrats to those guys in the top 10,000. But most of the podcasters, guys, that's only 15 people in the top 20,000 after 3 rounds. So most of these guys there, and as you see, if you pick up a good score on a week-to-week basis, like Michael here with 1,124, went down from 71,000 to 27,000 in 1 week, just with an 1100 score. So very, very helpful at that. And yeah, you walk through it all there and you can see a few of the guys you might be following. If they don't really show their score too much, it's an easy way to have a look at that. Yeah, that's that probably with the Podmasters. All right, let's get into the head-to-head squad now. All right, on to the head-to-head team. It wasn't much better viewing, that's for sure. Still some green arrows, 10,000 up, but into 72,000 and just inside the top 50%. So it's pretty yuck overall. Team value suffering as well for that. But I believe in this team we have, only 38k in value in remaining salary. So it's not great overall. Did make the Lussick trade as well. Brought in Olakawatu in this one, who had a 48. So again, that game was just a shocker for fantasy, for Supercoach stats in this one. Sean Lane, the 35 in that one. Sitting there with Tupanua's 40. Smithy's 38. It's probably a boost week as well for this squad, that's for sure. But good news there with the, having Galvin, didn't play him, but having him in the squad now, we don't have to worry about trading him in. And a little bit of luck, I suppose, on this front, because I would have captained Nico as well in this side, but getting the news that Laybutt was going to be out of that game, that meant I didn't have anyone to actually put into my centre wing position anyway, because Salmon and also Strange had already played. So it was Laybutt or Bostock, depending how Drinkwater played. And once he got to about 80, I was like, cool, vice captaincy straight on him before the next game, which was going to be the Sharkies game. And yeah, we take that 105 as captain. But outside of that, it wasn't great, given we traded in Latrell and had options of Teddy, had options of Val Holmes. So there were the two options there that we're probably looking at around that similar price point, in between 7 and 800k. And we get Latrell's Mitchell's 36. So it's a tough one at that. He ends up losing cash at that price point, 1.9k. And yeah, that good score in round one comes out of his rolling average now. So yeah, not great overall. But the Drinkwater 105 was a big win. We're sitting in this situation now with Nico Hines going down and down, has the bye next week. In this scenario, when I don't need to get Galvin, Hines might be a play as a downgrade option. And then we can fix up a few of our other problem areas. And really, I do think it's a 2RF position at the moment. We did get Olakawatu, which was nice. We might be trading one of these guys to get another 2RF. Could obviously move up a center in a Salmon or something like that to fix up a center wing position as well. It's potentially where we're going to look to in this side. Fullback, we're fine. We're sitting pretty in the front row forward. It's obviously the hooking position that we could look to make a move in as well, as I said in my team. But obviously with the head-to-head squad, we're looking to get some wins on the board. And unfortunately, I'm none from 3 in my couple of important head-to-heads. So right now, it is a little bit of panic stations. We're obviously scoring very poorly. And we do need to get some wins on the board and obviously focus on cash generation as well. So that's where a few of those plays, you're looking at the points and the cash, which I'm doing in my side. It's going to be very, very similar in this one. So, do we trade out Hines, given he's going to lose money likely this week unless he goes big, and then get a slightly cheaper guy and then use that cash to upgrade elsewhere to get some better scorers in these types of positions. That's likely how it's going to play out in this one. Really, it was only Roger that scored well, Drinkwater that scored well, Cleary, and then we had happy with Liam Henry. We had to start him and get a 55. Outside of that, it's absolutely dire straits. Surely some of these guys can get above 60. That would be delightful. If that could happen anytime soon, I'd be absolutely pleased, over the moon with it. And we're just not in a good position right now with the squad. And hopefully things start to improve a little bit. We did win our public league, but lost the cash leagues there by 13, sadly, in that one there. And we're 20th and 17th in both of those, losing by 47 in the other one there. And then really low in the beers and break-evens, private group, main or community group. Got 2 wins out of 6 or something in the head-to-heads, and it's not great. So yeah, I think some drastic things need to change. Hines probably goes in this side just to try and get a couple of wins over the next few weeks. I think he could obviously go nuts, and I'm going to keep him in my overall team. And then head-to-head team, I think we're going to make some changes as well with him and do things around that. But very interesting overall how this is sitting, how we're looking with this squad, and there's definitely some worries with it. But as we know, the only way is up when you're struggling like this at the moment. If you're in the same boat, then hopefully we get some big scores out of it. And again, we had 200s in this side, but that was it. 200s. We had Roger, and then Liam Henry was one of our next highest scorers. So that's when you know it's dire straits, when you're 238k forward off the bench is getting one of your best scores of the week. So that's where we're at in the head-to-head team, guys. Let me know your thoughts of what you'd probably look to do if we get everything we need to in the team list coming in for round 4. It's not dire straits, but we do have to make some drastic changes. And I've max traded so far, apart from one boost used so far in the head-to-head team. We'll probably have to go again and then conserve trades through the middle as we do. So let's get this right the ship, and get things sorted. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope this helps, and we'll see you in the next video in our buy hold sale.